Now, you all know they consider us as the misfits of wrestling here in Memphis. But we are the best wrestling company in Memphis by far. So let's show everybody why we are Bluff City Wrestling and we are the real Memphis Wrestling. Each and every one of you all been counted out before. A lot of y'all in here, nobody wanted you on their show. So now is the time to prove everybody wrong. All of y'all in here are stars. And now it's your opportunity to prove that Bluff City Wrestling. Each and every one of you all have the potential to become a champion. So get in there when you get in this ring, in this holy place. Show everybody why you are a star. Don't let anybody limit you. The sky's the limit for each and every one of you all. Everybody want to be with you when you're on the mountaintop, but nobody want to start with you when you're in the valley. Well, guess what? Bluff City Wrestling is going to show everybody and teach everybody why we are the real Memphis Wrestling. Yeah. All right, and welcome. Give me some volume here. Yeah, to the Bluff City Wrestling podcast, all action and no bluff. And I tell you what, it has been a weekend indeed here. And hey, we looked at the show today, and glad you're joining us on the show. Hey, we got some things to talk about here, Josh. There's some things that went on the show that we've got to talk about. Yeah, and
yes, I know we dive right into it, man. But welcome everybody to the show, All Action No Bluff podcast. Those of y'all that are joining us and those of y'all just coming in, come on in the room. Shout out to everybody. We are Bob and Josh here, the voices of Bluff City Wrestling, which you heard if you watched it on CW30. It was on a little bit earlier today at 11 o'clock, which you can catch every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. On CW30 each and every Saturday, man. And this was, I believe, the third episode that's aired, man. And a whole lot of stuff happened today on today's episode, man. So we're going to dive into everything that went on as much as we can, at least on this episode here on today. But if y'all want to join us, you can. The number is scrolling on the screen. Phone line is open if you want to join in or got any comments on what we're talking about specifically, not anything else outside world or anything else is going on, but Bluff City Wrestling podcast, Bluff City Wrestling TV show. We're talking about all those things here on today for the next few minutes.
And Josh, indeed, we got a lot of good things to talk about and some things that, like we said, that went down today, man, that was disturbing to some people, but we're going to talk about that as we go into the podcast. And Johnny Dawson, I don't know if he'll be able to join us or will join us during the show or call in. But hey, I tell you what, folks, hey, this is the best wrestling company and show in the Mid-South, Bluff City Wrestling, and it's all action and no bluff. And Josh, let's dive right into it today, man. On the show, we talked about the East Coast Bad Boys. We saw them in action today, and Josh, they're a team that to be reckoned with here in Bluff City Wrestling.
Yeah, definitely, man. You saw it starting off the show. I know if you've been keeping up with the things that's been going on lately with Bluff City, you know, East Coast Bad Boys are right in the thick of the tag team competition. They made it to the end of the tag team tournament last week, but ended up losing to the Outlaws, who are currently the Bluff City Wrestling Tag Team Champions. But the East Coast Bad Boys did, on an untelevised event, end up winning the #1 contendership in a triple threat tag match, which they showed some of the highlights on this show from that.
Mm-hmm.
And they wrestled again this week, opening match. Now, this wasn't for the number one contendership or anything. It was just a tag team match.
Right.
Taking on Dobie and Pepe.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know these guys, two masked wrestlers. As y'all can see on the screen there, Dobie and Pepe, a couple of interesting characters. One that carries a mop to the ring, the other with the flowery pants.
I hadn't figured out what that is all about yet.
Me either, to be honest. But nonetheless, the crowd seems to get behind them a lot, as well as East Coast, man. East Coast might be one of the most popular groups in Bluff City wrestling so far in the early stages. So definitely, as you see some of the highlights, man, one of the best tag teams in the area. They've been around a long time, but you can tell that they got their chemistry down. Pat, man, that's why they're the number one contenders.
Yeah, man. I wish, Josh, that we could some things that happened at the end of this show that we want to talk about too. That happened today, and talking about Buck Skinner. We want to talk about. Matter of fact, I wish I could talk to him and find out what's going on in his mind. And that's just some of the stuff going on, folks. Among a lot of things that we got to talk about here at Bluff City Wrestling. And Josh, the East Coast Bad Boys, man, hey, these guys are here and they mean business, along with the other tag team competition that's around Bluff City Wrestling.
Yeah, definitely. Big time stuff, man. They did end up picking up the win against Dobie and Pepe, showing off why they are number one contenders, for a reason. As you see there, the double bulldog, and they finish it off with a very impressive kind of a monkey flip finishing move.
Yeah,
there, and they talked to me at ringside after the match and kind of let their voices be heard about how they feel about being in Bluff City Wrestling and how excited they are about the whole thing. I'm gonna play a little bit of that here.
Yeah, and here we go.
All wrestling, no bluff. This is where we're at, bro. Right here. CW30. This is it. This is as big as it gets. This is where we're at. And you're looking at the number one contenders for the tag team titles. And we are number one contenders. We belong here in Bluff City. All bluff, no bluff, all wrestling. Oh, I'm so excited. I got confused. But let me tell you something. We are the number one contenders for the tag team champions. We are coming for the tag team titles. So never count the East Coast Bad Boys out. Thank you.
There you go with it. And hey, they're ready and excited to be a part of the tag team, the tournament thing that's going on right here at Bluff City Wrestling. Josh, some other things that went on today. We've got these guys, Josh, that are going around Bluff City Wrestling. And, man, like I said during the show, we've got to find some way somehow to deal with these guys, man. These guys are called the Torture Chamber. Man, they are making a mark in Bluff City Wrestling, Ace and Company. And, man, who will be able to stop them, Josh?
Yeah, that's the biggest question, really. In Bluff City Wrestling, to be honest with you, not only do they have the Bluff City Wrestling heavyweight champion on their roster, being Big Ace. Well, not Big Ace, Charles Ray.
Yeah.
Yes, Ace is the leader of the Torture Chamber, but Charles Ray is the heavyweight champion. So whenever you hold the heavyweight title, you hold the power in the company. And more than just that, it's the power as in being a powerful man.
Yeah.
And you saw a lot of that on display on this episode, man, as you see there, Big Ace introduced the newest member of the Torture Chamber, El Loco. You can see that scary looking gentleman, coming through the curtains with Ace.
Yeah.
He took on Mike Reels.
I hadn't figured it out, Josh. What is that? Is that supposed to be a clown? Or
I don't know.
Man, he is beyond a clown. I mean, God.
It's a killer clown.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I tell you what, he's something in the ring, though.
And it's funny. The funny thing about it is right on time for Halloween.
Yeah.
This guy,
he is.
You don't want to see this dude trick or treating on your doorstep, no question, man. But it just makes the Torture Chamber that much more dangerous. But he did pick up a loss in this match to Mike Reels. A little bit of miscommunication between Ace and Loco.
Yeah.
in his first match in Bluff City. And, Ace tried to get involved and do his things. Y'all can see here the closing seconds of the match when Mike Reels is starting to get an advantage. But Ace, as normal, tries to get involved. Now here you see Russian leg sweep by El Loco, which was here to set up the finishing sequence. And you see Ace is yelling instructions. And watch this carefully here. He is sure that Mike Reels is going to be the one there. Ace turns around, grabs the wrong ankle.
Yeah, he trips up his own man.
and Mike takes advantage, hits the first.
There he goes.
The driver right down to the mat, and that finished it off for Loco's first loss. Right there, as you see, Ace is just shocked.
Yeah.
Shell shocked at ringside, doesn't know what to do there. But
man, I tell you, Ace is a character, boy.
Yeah, you can say that. Really, this whole torture chamber thing is a bunch of characters. But Mike Reels, one of the few guys, has actually got a leg up on him in Bluff City Wrestling. So we'll see how that continues to go.
Yeah,
going forward.
Very interesting win there. I tell you what, though. Hey, you better be ready for him whenever you get in there. You never know what's going to happen when you're talking about the torture chamber. And then they just don't quit, y'all.
No, they don't. And then there's a lot of torture chamber on this episode, y'all. And you see here, this is a clip from last Saturday night. As a matter of fact, Bluff City Wrestling.
Yeah, look at him. Look at him. I mean, just
yeah. You see what he's doing.
I mean, Charles Ray don't really need no help.
No, not at all.
Say
he gives it to him regardless, which makes him that more dangerous. Like you said, man. And look at this. Now, again, this is a non-televised event here in this match, but this was Ray got a rematch with Charles Ray after last week's match. And it didn't go too much better for Ray. Yeah. In this situation, as you can see. Anybody that goes in with Charles Ray, like you said, about he don't need no help.
No, he doesn't.
He don't need no help.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody, Ray, my hat goes out to him, and good wrestler, but man, getting in the ring with somebody like Charles Ray and some of the things we've seen him do, Josh, I mean, I'm talking about working out, for goodness sake. Yeah. Man, this guy, hey, he is something to reckon with in Bluff City Wrestling, and man, what a giant of a man he is, and he just takes control and just dominant in everything he does, man.
Yeah, just a supreme athlete, as you can see. Here was Ray got a little offense going, and tried to capitalize here, but it just did not quite turn in his favor. As you can see, Ace gets involved once more, and it's coming up right here. Boom! There it is, the knockout blow.
There you go.
With the looks like some brass knucks.
Yeah.
For the 1, 2, 3.
Ace is always involved in somewhere in some form of fashion. And so therefore, look at it. I mean, the guy was just out, man. There was nothing else for Charles Ray to do.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Nothing he could do, man. And then you go to the posing after the match. You see as I go forward here, the post-match celebration.
Yeah, and to add insult to injury, Josh, Ace just walks across the guy, man, like he's a sack of garbage sitting in the ring. And
like a floor mat.
Yeah, just no respect at all for anybody. And, hey, I guess that's what it's all about in professional wrestling. And, it just goes on. And then I think, do we have a part of that interview that we could listen to?
Yes, Torture Chamber.
The Torture Chamber and Ace running his big mouth out there. And let's see if we can play a part of that, Josh.
Yeah, let's do that here. Let's go back. Here's some of the Torture Chamber in case you haven't seen them already.
And yeah, let's take a listen to this.
And here they are, making their way out. Got the Torture Chamber, Big Ace, Charles Ray, the Bluff City Wrestling heavyweight champion. Armageddon Night of Shame.
Cut the music. Because apparently y'all can't get that right, messing up my song. It's a conspiracy against the torture chamber as it is. Johnny Dotson, I know you're conspiring against us. Just like your homeboy, your fellow grandpa friend, Poker Face, who my guy, the man monster Charles Ray, took care of easily to become the Bluff City Wrestling heavyweight champ. Just like he took care of that nobody who was trying to be a somebody that we never heard of, Ray Ray. Out of here, done, finito, finish. Just like I told y'all, the man monster made easy work of him. And now we're here to make easy work of somebody else. Anybody, somebody, man enough to step up against the man monster, Charles Ray. It can be one of y'all out here. It don't matter. It can be a commentator, referee. It don't matter. Bluff City management, send me somebody out here so my monster can eat, baby.
Yeah, there goes some of that there. And I'm going to let y'all see the rest for yourself a little bit later. Not to spoil the whole show. The whole show is going to be up a little bit later on the Bluff City Wrestling YouTube channel. Where y'all can watch what ended up happening. In that call-out situation. It wasn't pretty. I just
no.
So
wasn't pretty at all.
So some ugly stuff going on. But speaking of ugly stuff, man,
this is awful.
Now, but before this next one, I know you're ready to get to Buck.
Yeah.
But that was the last thing that happened here. But I'm going to show y'all one more thing that is coming soon to Bluff City Wrestling. Watch the show. We saw the first vignette of these guys. I'm going to play some of that so y'all check this out.
Yeah, folks, this is wild. Take a listen to this one.
And these guys are wild. There they are. That's right. In case you don't know, the Crowleys coming soon to Bluff City Wrestling. Some of the creepiest and scariest dudes in professional wrestling in this area or anywhere. We got Jackson Crowley, you got Otis Crowley, who's one of the brothers, and then there's another one there as well. But man, they're coming soon to Bluff City Wrestling. That is a scary thing, I think, for everybody.
I am telling you, Josh, you're talking about confusion and every evil work and everything that is named according to the wrong thing. These guys does it. They do it. And I'm telling you, the Crowleys are coming to Bluff City Wrestling. Man, what a big catch that is. And I'm telling you, they're here, Josh. I don't know what in the world I thought the torture chamber was something. Where did these guys get here? These are a bunch of madmen, and
literally
just they do any and everything in the ring to get the victory. And I'm telling you, Josh, this is going to be something to watch and keep up with whenever these guys get to Bluff City Wrestling.
Absolutely. And I definitely got to stay tuned in the coming weeks. Once again, every Saturday morning, 11 a.m. on CW30, the Crowleys coming to Bluff City Wrestling soon. We don't know when, don't know where, don't know how. But
they're on the way. We're going to guarantee you.
You know, one thing about it, you got to keep your eyes peeled because you know where they're going to pop out from.
Yeah, and man, I'm telling you, when they pop up, I'm telling you, Josh, man, I hope it ain't around us and they're acting crazy where we're sitting at the table over there. But hey, these guys, man, I'm telling you, there's somebody to deal with, and they're going to make a difference right here in Bluff City Wrestling. And really look forward to that.
One thing about it, as crazy and as eccentric as they are very talented. In the ring on top of that. So
they do take care of business. That's the thing about it.
Dangerous combination.
A lot of people don't like them, but hey, you may not like them, but they do take care of business in the ring. And talking about those crazy Crowleys. And you'll just have to see them when they come, folks. When you talking about us mentioning crazy, well, you just have to wait and see till they get and make their first their debut here in Bluff City Wrestling. Josh?
Absolutely, man. And another situation here where we got somebody attacked in an unexpected situation, and that was surprisingly, right? This was at the end of the show.
Yeah.
The CEO of Bluff City Wrestling, Johnny Dotson.
He was in a good match there.
Well, you know what? Here's what happened.
Okay.
He was attacked last week. It was last Saturday night, the untelevised event.
Yeah.
That showed Buck Skinner, who, if you've been watching the show, you know that Buck has been getting into it with Johnny every week, starting a situation. Johnny's just trying to watch the show that he's over and found it and everything else. But Buck is instigating him to the point where he wants to fight. And Buck took the fight to him first on his untelevised event. Here's the clip of that situation.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that and Buck with all that situation. Josh, take a listen to this, folks. Take a watch.
That insane laugh he got going on. He's choking him with that bull rope.
Yeah.
Y'all know about a bull rope. That's nothing to joke about. Getting choked.
And the referees, they're trying to get him to break it. Look at him. He just,
Man.
Wow.
So that's Buck Skinner for you. If you don't know, now you know. This is another guy making a name for himself again in Bluff City Wrestling in the Mid-South area.
7 feet tall, Josh.
Absolutely.
And every bit of it, every inch of it. On the CW30 network and making his way out right now, Big Buck. Out and
all right, here's Buck. And Buck, man, you and Johnny Dotson, you seem to have a problem with the CEO of Bluff City Wrestling, Johnny Dotson, man. What's the deal? What's going on, man?
Ever since I got to Bluff City Wrestling, Johnny Dotson been all up in my face every time I walk out to the ring saying, Buck, you gonna do this. Buck, you gonna do that. Johnny Dotson, when I get my hands on you, Johnny. When I get my hands on you, Johnny, I'm going to break you in half. I'm going to pull your arm off. I'm going to pull your leg off. Then I'm going to beat you with it.
See, and that's just some of that again. You have to watch the rest to see what else Buck had to say.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, I don't understand what started all this for Buck to aim at Johnny Dotson. Just out of the blue.
Out of the blue.
I don't know what's going on with what is his that's why I wanted to ask him a question when I get a chance to ask him. What made him zero in on Johnny Dotson, for goodness sake? What is his beef? I mean, what does he got against Johnny Dotson?
I don't know. And it's so weird. We talked with Johnny last week on the All Action No Bluff podcast right here last Saturday. And, we talked to Johnny about Buck. And he talked about some of his animosity, where he believes Buck's trying to make a name off of his name. Buck's trying to go after the biggest fish that he could see. Yeah, and no bigger fish than the CEO of the company.
Yeah.
So, but you would think on the one hand you worry about your job, but Buck doesn't seem to care about anything but violence.
Yeah.
And he showed again, he was in a 2-on-1 handicap match in the main event here, taking out 2 guys. And you'll see that. And then the aftermath made even more headlines.
Yeah. With
Johnny Dotson and Big Lou coming out. So a lot of stuff that went on toward the end of the show that you're definitely going to have to check out when it's out on YouTube.
Yeah, where to get out on YouTube. Well, I'll tell you what, Josh, it's going to be something that they're going to need to watch it and see.
Yes.
What took place there. And we're not happy about it. Johnny's not happy about it. And a lot of fans are not happy about what Buck Skinner is going around Bluff City Wrestling and doing. And, hey, he's got enough competition if he won't in the ring. And why in the world did he want to select the CEO of Bluff City Wrestling to make a name for himself? I have no idea. And, evidently, John, this is what it's all about.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, man. But so much stuff going on, Bluff City Wrestling. That's why you got to watch each and every Saturday, man, because you're not going to find a more power-packed hour in professional wrestling, especially in this area.
Yeah, and we've got some events coming up around the area. We want you to go out and check Bluff City Wrestling out when we come to your community in your area. And you got some other things coming up around the Mid-South, Josh.
Yes, and matter of fact, I'm glad you brought that up. November, coming up November, 2 TV taping events. First November the 5th and November the 11th, I believe. I'm going to double check that.
Yeah.
But I know November the 5th. Both of these events are at the Eureka True Vine Baptist Church in the Whitehaven community.
We don't have that clipping.
No.
Okay. We had it. We will play it for you here, but we don't have it available right now. So, but it's coming up right there at the, what is the 5th of November?
Yeah,
and I think it's whatever that other Saturday is, 11th or the 12th.
Matter of fact, I can't get the clip up right now.
Yeah.
Now that you mentioned it that way,
it's gonna be in November. 2 Saturdays consecutively.
The 5th and the 12th.
The 5th and the 12th. At 12 noon at the Eureka True Vine Baptist Church, right there on Mill Branch here in Memphis, Tennessee. You don't want to miss a moment of that action. Bluff City Wrestling invades Eureka True Vine Baptist Church Auditorium. Folks, look, you have got to get your ticket. Get out there and be a part of what Bluff City Wrestling is doing. And I tell you what, hey, I don't know exactly what's going to go down yet. But I do know this. Something is going down big time, and a lot of things that are happening, Josh, and the matches and the disputes and the fights and the arguments and things that are going around Bluff City Wrestling right now, it is just beginning.
Absolutely, man. And here is another update on Eureka True Vine Baptist Church.
Let's take a look. Take a listen and watch this coming up on the 5th and the 12th at Eureka True Vine Baptist Church.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming on November the 5th and the 12th at Eureka True Vine Baptist Church, 3510 Mill Branch, Memphis, Tennessee, at 12 o'clock noon. The doors will open at 10:30 a.m. Tickets on sale at the door for $10 for adults and $5 for kids. Come be a part of the CW30 Bluff City Wrestling television taping. This is the wrestling company where it's all action and no bluff. This is the real Memphis wrestling. You can catch us every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock on the CW30 network. Be there.
There you go, the 5th and the 12th, 12 noon, Eureka True Vine Baptist Church, Bluff City Wrestling will be there, and $10 for adults and $5 for kids, children. Yeah. And I tell you what, folks, you don't want to miss it. And you're talking about $10 for a big wrestling event like this? I mean, man, just one of the matches at Bluff City Wrestling is worth the admission alone. But you're going to have all the stars there and all the big-time wrestling matches going down right there at Bluff City Wrestling on the 5th and the 12th, right there at the Eureka True Vine Baptist Church. 3510, I think it is.
Yes, on the screen, man.
Real Branch Road here in Memphis, Tennessee, in the Whitehaven community.
That's it. 3510 Mill Branch is all on the screen there for y'all to, if you're able to see it, that are watching. Eureka True Vine Baptist Church TV taping for CW30 November the 5th and 12th. So you can come out to both events and get your chance to be not only see a television product, but also get yourself seen on TV.
Oh yeah,
as well, man. Studio style wrestling, Memphis style wrestling, the way only it's done in Memphis.
And Johnny Dotson is soon going to have a big announcement coming up, folks. And I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm going to let him do the honors when he get a chance to come on, and he's got a big announcement that's coming. You want to stay tuned to Bluff City Wrestling for that, and it is big indeed, Josh. And I tell you what, you don't want to miss it, folks. It's coming up soon. Josh, hey, we've talked about a lot of things going on, and I tell you, I enjoyed this podcast today.
Absolutely.
And Bluff City Wrestling. And stay tuned again every Saturday from 11 till noon. CW30 Network television show, Bluff City Wrestling. Hey, don't want to miss that, and it's going to be a big one coming up again next week. And we'll be joining you again at 1 p.m. again after the show with the podcast, and you'll be able to watch us live and talk about all the big things that went on and any new things that may be coming up if we have those things available. And we may be interviewing some of the stars, and you will let you know what happened and what's going to go down on those podcasts. So that's going to do it for us today, Josh. Hey, All Action and No Bluff podcast. We want to thank you for watching us today. This is Bluff City Wrestling, the best wrestling in the Mid-South. We'll see you next Saturday at 11 a.m. on CW30 Network TV.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be back next Saturday at 1 p.m. for another podcast. Have a good weekend.
The misfits of wrestling here in Memphis. But we are the best wrestling company in Memphis by far. So let's show everybody why we are Bluff City Wrestling and we are the real Memphis Wrestling. Each and every one of you all been counted out before. A lot of y'all in here, nobody wanted you on their show. So now it's the time to prove everybody wrong. All of y'all in here are stars. And now it's your opportunity to prove that Bluff City Wrestling. Each and every one of you all have the potential to become a champion. So get in there when you get in this ring, in this holy place. Show everybody why you are a star. Don't let anybody limit you. The sky's the limit for each and every one of you all. Everybody want to be with you when you're on the mountaintop, but nobody want to start with you when you're in the valley. So guess what? Bluff City Wrestling is going to show everybody and teach everybody why we are the real Memphis Wrestling.